President Manuel Zelaya is not a radical. He's not a Marxist, he's not an anarchist, he does not want radical change for his country. He's not Castro, he's not Chavez, he's not Morales. This man is a wealthy landowner in Honduras. He's in the logging business. Very rich person. You know, he's part of that ruling elite. But he made a few mistakes. And the first mistake that he made was that he raised the minimum wage from $180 to $280 in Honduras. He also made the huge mistake of buying oil from Venezuela at a cheaper price. And finally, the mistake that cost him his presidency was that within the Honduran democratic process, there's no room for the opinion of the Honduran people. So his mistake was that he wanted to ask the Honduran people a question. He wanted to have a popular referendum, a survey, to ask Hondurans if they want to change the constitution of that country, which was written in 1982 at a time when US supported military dictatorships were ruling that country with an iron fist, and at a time when Honduras was the base of operations for US foreign policy in Latin America. And because he dared to ask a question of the Honduran people, the military showed up at his house the day of the referendum and got him out in his PJs, I heard, and took him to Costa Rica. Said that he was a criminal and that he was not to return to the country because he had broken the rule of law. Never mind that there are courthouses and judges and a constitution in place. No, he broke the law, so now he must be deported from his country. This brings me to the end of my remarks because I ran out of time and I couldn't finish my notes. I actually haven't even registered. But I am an IVW member and a VFP member, and I don't need a piece of paper to tell me what to say. So I'm just going to wing the rest of the speech, if that's okay with you. The point here is that it is not really up to the United States and its support of the Honduran ruling elite. And by the way, the military coup that took place in Honduras took place under military supervision of a US military contingency that we have there. Not only under the supervision, but also under the advice of the United States did this coup take place. Immediately, this president who was appointed, who was part of the ruling class, who serves the ruling class, said that they were doing that because they wanted to preserve the institution of democracy in Honduras by not asking the people questions. That's how you preserve democracy, by leaving people outside of the democratic process. And they shut down all the stations and they crushed dissent. And right now in Honduras, the military is shutting down powers at night, the electricity in neighborhoods, and they're going inside of the neighborhoods and they're taking people hostage, and they are torturing people, and they are disappearing people. They are repressing the student movement, the unions that are standing up to the coup. And so we see a return to that era of military oppression. We cannot allow that. We cannot allow that. Because it's not just about Honduras and it's not just about President Zelaya, but it is about going back. As a movement, we have times when we slow down, we're tired, something happens that demoralizes us. Sometimes we stop. But we cannot go back. We cannot go back to that time. And there's a lesson to be learned from the Honduran people, because they are saying no. Because they are standing up tirelessly. They continue to fight in the streets. They are freezing, they're blocking the roads, they're freezing the economy. The ruling class is anxious already about this whole process because they are losing money. Because the people are taking matters into their own hands to protect real democracy, people's democracy. And there is a lesson to be learned from the Honduran people, because we are inactive right now. Under the spell of hope and change and giving the president time and buying the rhetoric, we are not doing enough as an anti-war movement. We are not standing up in solidarity with the Honduran people. And we are buying this rhetorical change. And we have to look at the facts. And we have to realize once more what we always have known. That change comes from the bottom. That we have to affect the change at the bottom. It doesn't matter who is in the House. It could be a great president, the greatest president ever. It doesn't matter who's in Congress. I'm sure there are a lot of good people. Senator or Congresswoman Edwards, I'm sure she's great. She sounded fabulous. But that's not enough. Change is not going to be affected by the politicians. It has to come from us. We have to take the streets once again. We have to march. We have to question Afghanistan. We have to question Iran. We have to get back into the political discourse. We have to talk about the issues. We have to stop working. We have to not pay taxes. We have to take matters into our own hands. Meeting here and having these talks and going to workshops is wonderful, but it's just not enough. So we're moving from hope to action. That's not just a slogan. That's an order. Thank you.